monkey see, monkey do, but we may not know just how much that plays a role in our children learning about the world and the people in it.
Imitation is huge for childhood development. Today we are learning how to help foster that with our kids. Crystal Baerwald from Red Door Pediatric Therapy is joining us today in our Kids Connection. Crystal, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So let's start with learning about why mimicking is so important for babies and toddlers.
Yeah, so imitation is so important in the development of language skills, play skills, and social skills. We learn by watching others, so a lot of people will say they're visual learners, and it's one of the most important skills we need to learn imitation of words.
Kids, babies, is there a specific age range when, we have to start working with our child with all of this?
Yeah, although we don't see the very obvious attempts of imitation until kind of later on, until that first year, you can start working on the skills that build that foundation of imitation from day one. So that kind of includes eye contact, having your baby in front of you, attending to your face is very important. Joint attention, so making sure you're both attending to the same activity, whether you're pointing to a book and they're looking at the same thing you are, or checking in on you to see your reaction. And turn taking, you will kind of notice when those babies start cooing that if you say something, they might reply if you give them a chance. And so it kind of teaches them that natural flow of how conversation works.
Can I ask you a specific question? You talked about pointing to a book and having them look at the same area that you are. I've heard before that it's helpful with little kids, babies, to be facing them when you're reading, rather than having them on your lap and looking at the book. Does that relate to what you're talking about?
Yes. So it's important for them to have eye contact when you're doing activities like that. You'll notice in schools everywhere, the kids will be sitting on the carpet and they'll all be attending to the same thing, but also checking in on the teacher for that joint attention.
Gotcha. Okay, so what are some ways that we can start building these imitating skills with kids?
Yeah, so generally, kids will kind of learn how to imitate those big actions before they learn how to imitate those sounds. So imitating actions, I would say starting with like shaking a rattle to see if they imitate that, building blocks, banging blocks together, and then imitating those big gestures like waving, shaking your head. No, a lot of little kids pick up on that one right away. And then starting basic sign language. So kind of combining communication with those like big gestures.
Yes.
And I think too, a lot of words that mom wants the baby to say is mom,
Yeah.
of course, right? So how can we train our baby, or where can we start to incorporate how we teach a baby to say mom or dad?
Yeah, so when we kind of get those actions down, you can kind of start working on words and sounds. A great place to start is just like the exclamatory words like yum, icky, uh-oh, and then kind of working your way up to those more complex words. I use a lot of verbal routines such as ready, set, and then pausing to see if they'll fill in the word go. Those social games like pat a cake, peekaboo, if you're happy and you know it, and just kind of giving them more and more exposures to the words in different contexts.
All of this, I think, just really makes you realize how aware you can be of your actions, what you're saying, because it's all going to be reflected with your kids. So you talk about it's so helpful to even just talk about what you're doing throughout the day. You're going to help foster those language skills, it sounds like.
Yes, exactly. I tell parents all the time to become your own narrator of life. So you kind of just talk wherever you are, whether it be at the grocery store, you talk about, oh, look at that on the top shelf, or should we get the oranges or the apples today? Whether you're cleaning at home, just talking to yourself basically all day kind of gives them more exposure to different contexts of words.
Now, does this have anything to do with, too, you know how a baby kind of has the hand going towards them, but obviously, we wave outside. How does a baby learn over time how to do that? Is that by watching us?
Yeah, they will imitate a lot of different things that you do. You are your kid's best teacher. Anything that you're interested in, they will start doing that as well. I incorporate a lot of saying bye to things when I'm cleaning up, whether it be bye horse, bye cow, and kind of just giving them that extra exposure to a word through a daily routine.
It is funny because it will make you realize what you do because you see it through your kids. It's just so fun. Okay, but if you have some concerns that maybe your child is not picking up on this imitating when you think they should be, what do you think they should do?
Yeah, so you know your child best. If you have any concerns, you don't have to wait and guess and see if they will catch up eventually. You can speak to a speech language pathologist, and they'll talk to you about your concerns and kind of see how much they understand, what they're saying, the gestures they use, and kind of see if they would benefit from speech therapy.
Very good. All right, Crystal, where can we find you?
You can find us at our Grand Forks, Minot, and Bismarck locations, and that's the number on the screen for all the locations.
222-3175. I like that you don't have to wait and guess. You can just find your answers right away. That's really helpful.
Exactly.
Crystal Baerwald, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks.